Hey everybody, what's cooking? Today we're taking a look at a great tune by Derek and the Dominos. Thorn Tree in the Garden, Bobby Whitlock. Total genius. Anyway, gonna play it, then we're gonna talk about it. There's a thorn tree in the garden, if you know just what I mean. I never meant to hurt you, babe, but that's not the way it seems, and I miss you. She's the only girl I've cared for, only one I've known. No one's ever shared a love like we've known, and I miss that girl. All seems so strange to me. Never turn her back on me. Leave without a last goodbye. If she winds up walking the streets, loving every other man she meets, I'll be the one who answers why. Lord, I hope it's not me. Never see her face again, never hold her hand. If she's in somebody's arms, I'll understand, but I'll miss that girl. I'll miss that girl. Oh, and maybe someday soon. Oh, and some way. Oh, yeah. Alright. Damn, love that tune. So good. Alright, so what's going on? Let's talk about it. Non-standard tuning. A couple other things to talk about here. So if you want to play along regarding just the tuning, if you want to play along with the record, right? Last track on the album, Thorn Tree in the Garden. If you want to play along with it, all you got to do is take your guitar that's in standard tuning and take your low E and just bring it down full step to D. So in that tuning, you'd have D, A, D, G, B, E. Capo on the 2nd fret. So it's basically like the original is an open E. If you want to play along with the record. This guitar though, what I'm doing right now though, I'm a little under the weather, unfortunately. Couldn't hit all those high notes. You might have heard. It's a little tricky vocal melody. But anyway, so what I did was, to accommodate that, I lowered the guitar, my guitar, a little bit more. So everything is down a half step. So what that means is, if you want to play along with me, you're going to take your E and bring it 1.5 steps down to D flat. A will go down a half step to A flat. D will go down to D flat a half step. G will go down a half step to G flat. B will go down a half step to B flat. E will go down a half step to E flat. So in that tuning, we got D flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, E flat, E flat. Capo on the 2nd fret. So we maintain those nice shapes. All right, let's get into the meat of it. So, 2 chords in the verse. Basically a D minor chord. That's the shape. Except what you're going to do is you're going to take it, shift it all the way up to the 6th fret of the G string relative to the capo. So middle finger on the 6th fret of G, ring finger on the 7th fret of B, index on the 5th fret of high E. That's it. That's our first chord. So when he's singing, he does this finger picking pattern in both the chorus and the verse. He does this finger picking pattern of this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. There's a thorn tree in the garden, if you know. Yeah, that part. So what is he doing? Basically, to get that finger picking down pat without thinking about it again. So it becomes that nice automatic feeling. What you're gonna do is your index is glued to the G string, right hand we're talking about here. Index is glued to the G, middle is glued to B, ring is glued to E. By glued, I mean you're sort of clinging on to them, and basically by glued, I mean anytime the G string needs to be played, you'll use your index. The B needs to be played, you use the middle. If the E needs to be played, you'll use the ring. So sort of have your fingers kind of set up like that, right? Your thumb will be alternating between the low E and the D string, if you want. You can also just get away with plucking with the thumb the low E string. You don't need to go back and forth between these two notes, which, if you've tuned correctly, sound the same, octave apart. So again, here's that pattern when you're singing. So this 1, 2, 3. So that's thumb, index, then B and E together. 1, 2, 3. And then you do that again. 1, 2, 3. And then the extra 2 hits are thumb on the low E and then plucking the G string one more time. So the whole thing is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's it. Second chord shape, all you're gonna do for the verse, bring this shape down 2 frets. So now you're at 4, 5, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Thorn tree in the garden, you know just what I mean. Never meant to hurt you, babe. That's it. So just get comfortable with that first before you start adding in the singing. Let's talk about let's talk about that intro riff, right? That's why we're all here. It's so cool. I love it. This is obviously not, he doesn't really sing over this part. This. So what that is the little bit of the tricky part here, right? So what you're gonna do is keep those fingers glued, those right hand fingers glued to where they are. And what you're gonna do is individually pluck the low E, then the G, then the B, and then when you pluck the high E, you're gonna pluck the low E again, so thumb and ring, and then pluck it again, both strings again, and the second time you do it, you're gonna do a hammer on the 7th fret, relative to the capo, with your pinky, 7th fret of the high E. So the hammer on and then the pull off. Okay? So the whole thing sounds like this. And then you go back like that. After you do that hammer on pull off, you pluck E and E like you're going back upstairs. So the whole thing sounds like this. And then, second chord, that same shape again, just brought down 2 frets. A little bit different. Thumb, index, middle, and then get that pinky ready. You're gonna put it down, no hammer on, you're gonna put it down, pluck the 2 E strings again, and then take off that pinky. So the second part sounds like this. difference is that at the very end of that second chord, before you go back into this, you pluck low E and then the G string one more time. So again, the whole intro here is this. So you heard that bum, 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 bum. That with the thumb, right? That one, bum, bum. You just gotta get comfortable with that. It's a little tricky at first, but oh, it's so good once you get it going. And then you can do a nice little slide into the shape again when you get back into it, once you get comfortable. It's so good. All right, that's that part. Chorus, right? And I'm gonna try to do it. And it all seems so strange to me. So again, that same pattern when he's singing, just like in the verses. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Different chords though. This is the chords. These are the chords for the chorus. You got your middle finger on the 4th fret of G, index finger, left hand we're talking about, on the 3rd fret of B and E. And then second chord, take your index finger on the G, on the 2nd fret of G, B, and E. And then you go back. So it all seems so strange to me. Never turn it back on me. Then go back to that first chord. Leave with, but just for half of the amount of time, to an A7 shape. So middle finger on the 2nd fret of D, ring finger on the 2nd fret of B. And then 2nd fret covering up G, B, and E. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1. So I did 2nd fret, sliding that shape up to the 5th fret. So the whole thing, nice and slow, sounds like this. And it all seems so strange to me. Never turn it back on me. Leave without a last goodbye. Second time, walking the streets, loving every other man she meets. I guess though this is where it changes. So we're here, ba-da-da-da. And then instead of going to that A7 like you did the first time, you're gonna go back to that covering up of the 2nd fret, quick, and then to your A7. And then this walk up thing, where you take that shape and then slide it up 4 and 3, 5 and 5, 7 and 7, and I'm referring to on the D and B strings, so that that whole Lord, I hope it's not me. So that whole second part sounds like this. As she winds up walking the streets, loving every other man she meets, I'll be the one who answers why. Lord, I hope it's not me. That little riff, A, then hammer on 2nd fret of A. Hammer on the 2nd fret of A, then pluck D, and then slide into 4 on D, 2nd fret, pull off, and then back into the riff. And that's that. That's the whole, oh wait, Coda, sorry. The Coda, where he does this, but I'll miss that girl. I'll miss that girl. So pretty. So basically what he's doing is you know how there was that variation between in the intro when you're doing that riff and that small variation when you're here versus when you're here. So basically he combines that for this coda. So the coda is, but then he does this, barring the 5th fret of G, B, and E, and then pinky on the 7th fret of high E, using the same finger picking that he did when he's in the intro doing this. But it's this chord shape. And then you do the same thing here. You basically, what you just did here, you're gonna repeat here with the same shapes, same finger picking. And then barring along the 3rd fret of G, B, and E, and then pinky on the 5th fret of high E. So this is the coda. And then sometimes I like to do this if you got the time, if you got the courage. And you heard how I sort of messed that up there, right? But it's cool because, I mean, it's kind of not cool. Yeah, it's cool. Because when you get back into the riff, you don't need to strum the whole guitar. Just strum the lowest strings, right? Right? Closest to the ceiling. While you're doing that, you slide into the shape again. So again. Oh, and maybe someday soon, and there's some way. Oh, yeah. That same riff from before, and that you did to get back into the verse. And then I just play this D chord without the middle finger. And that's it. Or you could just keep doing this forever. Oh, God, sorry. Love it. It's such a fun tune. It's a little bit tricky, but play along with me, play along with the track. Playing along with me, slower speed, do it nice and slow before you feel real comfortable with it. And I'm telling you, it is so much fun once you get it down. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. And